microphone, don't I? Only if I want it. I mean, let's see. What do I have to do? I have to go and... I'm required if it's not appropriate for certain viewers. We're appropriate. We're fine. We're not going to swear. We're just going to be nice. Wow. Where are we? We're in the Illumination Complex. What the hell? What the hell? I think we're in a new area, aren't we? Are we still in Solar... Oh, we're still in Solar... No, we're not. This is new. Okay. I think I know which area this is. I think this is less annoying than the previous one. Previous one, I think, was one of the harder ones for the time that you start, given the prevalence of shotgunners. I think that's the main thing. Oops. But we are going to have to remember to quick save constantly. I guess not. Okay. You want to come down here? Hey, buddy. How's it going? How's an axe to the face? How do you like an axe to the face? Take that. Whoa. Dark Souls ass enemies. Oh, jeez. Note to self. Wait, did I actually hit the button? I hit the button. Good. Ow. Nope. Probably shouldn't have fallen in here, huh? Oh well. OSHA compliant. Look at that. Look at that. What? Not perfect, but definitely better than most murderous pathways. Let's see what other shit there is in here. Probably some secrets. Nope, just a large green mana. 35 health. Not great. Oh shit. Fill up the water. I hear dudes. I don't see dudes. Ah, there you are. Okay. Want to come down here? No. Excuse me. Off my ass. Tiny soul. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I don't like those guys. Yeah, let's save. What's the worst that could happen? Oh. Heretic's Fate. I don't know, I thought it was okay. I've heard the new remaster is pretty good. We need a silver, or sorry, gold. The hell did that guy do? Don't like it. Yeah, how annoying. Maybe. Get closer. Got him. Okay, so note to self. Rocket launcher works well against those guys. That looks like a secret to me. Secrets. Give me your secrets. Right. Oh shit. Do I already have one? I already have one. I didn't even need it. Is that everything that's up here? I guess so. Nope. I think that just takes us back up, but I don't need to go back up right now. I need to go in gold key door. Hey buddy, how's it going? And he died. Oh, there's the gold key. Okay, I see how to get there now. I should play freaking Tony Hawk's. Ah, that's where it is. Okay, there's gonna be so many dudes who explode out when I. Yep. Well, 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 if it isn't the Blowdrop Brothers. Oh shit. And I'm so bad at this. There we go. I see somebody flapping over there. Hey, buddy. And he's dead. You want to come up here too? Sure, come up here. And you exploded. His head exploded. Actually, I think his whole body exploded. There's something rattling around over there. Oh, hey. Just right in the dick. How's it going? Right in the giblets. Ha. Don't forget to save. Don't forget to save. Hello, Mavrinthia. Don't forget to save, or else we're gonna die. Actually, we're gonna die either way. I don't know. We've only died one time in this level so far. Hi down there. Bloop. Oh shit. Jeez. Oh my goodness. All right. Wow. That area was significantly easier than the previous area. This one, okay, I know this one. I like this one a lot. This is the one where you have to climb this tower and then you have to go into the inside of it too. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the tower that you could see from the previous level, which is actually a pretty neat little touch. We're not going to do much of this though because we would rather do other things. We're going to work on some dungeon draft stuff, I think. Excuse me. Whoa! All these dudes. I love the crystal maze. It's like a combination of a needler and a... It's a very Unreal kind of weapon, I think. Okay, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Unless we just want to play a medieval all day. Which part of me kind of does, but part of me also says, let's do some work. See, as much damage as these guys do, it's still so much better than the ones in the other level where they have seeking missiles and spread like stuff. Let's find some music. All right. So when we last left off, we were building a bazaar. We've only got the very, very top bits of it. We have 2 levels, I believe. Yeah. Which we won't see until we render, I believe. We'll fix that later. Okay. Well, it's not ideal, but we can work with that. If I recall, what we need to do is to make this. No, we want to make the ground level blurry. Yeah. We want the main level to be perfectly in focus. Oh no, we want this to be like this. We want the ground to be here, with the overlay to be the main level. There we go. And we want the ground level to be out of focus. There we go. That's a much closer look to what we're trying to achieve. We're not there yet, though. It's going to take a little while before we actually get all the things like properly done up. So let's continue. I think we decided here they were selling some kind of seafood. What other things might we find in this area? This kind of like a bear head, moose head, yeti. Could do that. A little smaller. I think that's pretty good. Now let's go to this one here. Make sure we save some. Something like that. No chandeliers. Metal cages are kind of cool though. No, that's not gonna work. Okay. That. Bring it up to layer 2. There we go. Let's put that suit of armor in the cage where it belongs. No, I think this will be like various kinds of like armor and weapons. Oh, let's we should be able to change some of these things too. Let's check it out. Because I had been working on some of these things. Let's try and change the wall, but there we go. And if I recall, I'm not sure if I fixed the well, let's see. Pattern shape. There we go. Much better. Something like that. slowly building up. I wish I could union all these things and just make them one thing. But for now, we'll just lock them. Something like that. That's starting to get closer to what we're going for. I don't know. That's not bad. I think it's fine. Let's keep going. I think I have some floors that also go pretty decently with this too. So we shall add the floor. Pattern shape. Let's go over here for now. Wet mud is not what we want. This might be okay. Yeah, size is a little weird on this. One of the difficult things is making sure that stuff is accessible for players without being too cramped. This is not meant to be a battle map. This is meant to be a wander around and like look at things map. But even so, you don't want to just you don't want to leave them just high and dry as far as how they get around. And also, there's a what's it called? Let's talk about design for a little bit. If you want to design stuff, you want to make it clear what can be done with a given thing. So you tend to provide like hints and affordances and saying like, oh, this is clearly used in this manner or that manner. And I think that's a good kind of design to follow, a good kind of idea to follow when you're doing other things. Because you want to give the players freedom, but you still want them to go certain places, right? And so one thing that ends up happening, and this is kind of weird if you think about it, but don't think about it because it's not helpful to think that way, is that there's a tendency for stuff, I think, to be too cramped or too big. And it's kind of hard to get things to feel that they are the right size, because if you think about it like logically, these are all 5-foot spaces, right? Which means some of these areas are huge and some of these areas are tiny. Like this is a 15-foot walkway, right? So this is a gigantic walkway. But like, if you only have it as 5 feet, which is already fairly large for like a hallway, the players will still feel like that's very narrow and very tight, because they are moving their tokens around, 5 foot by 5 foot increments. So What I like to do is to widen up the corridors just a little bit. And this is something I have to remember to do on the battle maps as well, because one thing I found while testing was that players did not like to move very much. And so I need to make enemies more threatening by making them, pop out and threaten the enemy, or threaten the players. How did I move this? Weird. Okay, whatever. Weird. What's it doing? What did I select? Feels like I selected something and it didn't. Hold on, let's reopen it. See if it's a dungeon drop thing before I get too into trying to fix it. Yeah, now it worked. Weird. Go fig. What should we put into these little spaces up here? I think we need more color is what we need. Oh, I can do above walls. Pops out of the vent. We had the crawlers all pop out of the vents, and I did like that. In fact, I'm going to kind of do that. Look at this monster mouth. Perfect. So I'm not sure what this is, what we're kind of going with that, but I think it adds a little pop of color that makes it look a little more classy. Because classy is definitely what you want for your extraterrestrial. I think in this case I actually do want this sort of classiness to the extraterrestrial bazaar. Let's see, what do we got here? Got goats, statues. Ooh, potions. Potions and alembics. Something like that, I think. I think maybe having another little counter or a desk kind of area here would be helpful. Not a toilet. Probably not as helpful to have a toilet there. Now, I think there might be some like dirt or things like that. Something that might be a little like. Something like that as like a little refuse pit. Maybe with some stuff for the players to look at and be like, should we steal this? I like the idea that they just kind of chuck their garbage on the ground. Feels appropriate to the setting. Oops. Let's make this simple tiles, I think. We're going to make this a big plaza. Then it's going to connect around. See, this is a good example. Like, is this too narrow? I think this is fine. Because otherwise I have to make the walls really thin. But it's a good example of the stuff where I'm like, I don't really know why I should do it like that, whether I should do it like that. Now, I'm always on the lookout for some new tools. Ooh, those are gigantic. I think I need to make them smaller. I don't like how big they are. We're gonna leave this for now, only because I will update this later and make it more appropriate so that these are the same size as these tiles here, and probably also posterize them a little bit so that they're less. We can do it right now, I think, actually. How are we gonna do this? Oh, we can't because I... Oh, no, I did. Oh, I need to fix this. Hold on a sec. So I figured out how to properly make... The best way to make this work is with... or I found is that should use... is I'm going to use LabWC, which is a lightweight compositor. Hello, Doc Hammer Time. It's good morning. We are trying to get Affinity working so I can fix a thing. There we go. Now, I may not have it in my folder, so I may have to not do it right this moment either way. I realized that just now, but we'll take a look. Maybe I have it. Patterns, normal, and we want the green tiles, please. Yeah, so here's the thing. We want these to be half the size. So we're gonna end up duplicating this a bunch, but let's go ahead and pixel. I do not remember how to do this. How do I do this? Whoops. I knew how to do this in... I don't want to do the canvas. I just want to resize the selection. Well, we can do it this way too. Alright, right, fine, be that way. We won't do it like that. We'll do it like this. That looks about right. There we go. No, I want to have this actually called that's fine. Okay. We're going to export this as a stream asset, I think. Just for the sake of making it so that I can actually have it running. Patterns. No? Okay. Annoying. I want textures. I want patterns. I want patterns, and I want normal. If I recall. For image editing, oh, this is Affinity. Affinity is a Windows program, but it runs quite well on Linux with Wine. My recommendation is to just use the app image that you can download. It is really comparable to the Adobe suite, specifically Photoshop and Illustrator for this one. It does have AI features, but you don't have to pay for them, and in fact, that's the premium. So if you don't pay for that, then everything else is free. So it's not open source, but it is free. So you do. Like, I think it's actually, they figured out a way that makes me feel like I'm okay with it, because I'm like, okay, so if I just don't pay for that, can I still keep doing the same stuff as before? And they're like, sure, you can just use the program like before. And okay. Now I will say, there are certain, yeah. Yeah, I don't pay for the AI feature. I don't need it. I do, but I do think that there is some use cases for things like smart fills and like there's been, like, here's the thing, they didn't call it AI before, but like a lot of the smart tools in Adobe are still, they're still machine learning. They just don't generate stuff of whole cloth. And like, I think that's the difference, right? It's one thing to say like, here's a smart select around a dog or something, versus this generates a dog out of nothing. Not that it really matters. Both of them are. This has fine smart select that's not even related to any of that. Just plain old stuff. But I find that it works quite well. It took a little bit of time to figure out how to get it to work with my particular Linux setup. But yeah, and I'm not a big fan of new image manipulation program. It's a little bit it's a little clunky, I feel. But yeah, give Affinity a try, even if, especially if you're on Windows where it just runs, or Mac where it just runs normally. It used to be one-time purchase, and now the new version is quote free. So Krita is great, but it's a it's a drawing program, right? So I have it too, and I use it too, but I use it for drawing, not so much for like compositing, image manipulation, and especially vector stuff, which is one of those things that I end up using a lot, but I don't think people do. Inkscape, however, is great. So like, I don't find that I need it quite as much. But as far as like a Photoshop replacement for doing like image manipulation, okay, I got to do this and that. Slightly annoying, but we'll do stream assets. Inkscape is great. I love Inkscape. Inkscape I've used lots, and I think that's a perfectly valid thing to use. It's just it's really the Photoshop that there's not a good version for, or at least for me. I don't really like. I'm not a huge fan of GIMP. Frankly, I think there's a lot of issues with it, but not to mention the name. Yeah, yeah. Like the filters are fine. Most of what I need is compositing, and it doesn't do it very well. Um, well, it does it fine, but it's the interface is kind of a. Yeah, that's true. I think. Yeah, I like Krita a lot. I think it's great, especially if you're used to using stuff like um, Procreate or gosh, what is it called? What's the other popular one? Clip Studio. I've had some issues getting Clip Studio to run on my stuff, so. What am I doing? I'm deleting the stream assets. Okay, and now let's go ahead, reopen. And there should be, I hope, a new floor pattern down here, which is the same as the other one, but smaller. That's a roof. Here we go. Okay, cool. Now, I wish there was something as good as Procreate for Linux and other places, but as far as I know, there isn't. Krita is still really good, though. Is it Krita or Krita? I think it might be Krita, because that does seem like it's more like Critter, and it sounds like it's big with the furries and drawing. Krita. It's Krita. So it's neither of those. There we go. That's a much more reasonable size for this. Now I'm going to probably take this and knock down that highlight quite a bit, but we'll do that later. I don't need it right this second. I mean, it's all like stuff you gotta learn, right? It's just a matter of learning it. In my case, I went to my actual college education long time ago was in graphic design, even though I've never done graphic design like as as like real work. But long, long ago, uh, long, long ago, that's what we went to school for, was graphic design. And so I still think about that stuff. But I learned it in class, so it's like I learned it, 25 years ago, but I learned it in class, and so it's yeah. I totally get that. I think that's the thing is that like there's two things I want to do, and they're kind of separate, right? So when it comes to Photoshop and imp not saving, it's or saving as a layered file instead of a hmm, instead of a ping by default. So you have to export. Is that it makes sense? Like you gotta most of the time, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to save your you're going to want to be able to go back in and re-edit your work, but like that's not true if I'm just resizing something, right? Or if I'm just changing color or adding text. A lot of times I just want it to be saved, and they make you go through the whole export process. I find in fact, that's one of the things that Affinity bugs me with, is that by default, when you save or export, it's not transparent with the background. And like, I'm usually doing like game asset stuff, so it's usually, I do want it to be transparent with the background. There's probably a way to set it like by default rather than having to set it everything, but like, it just is one of those things that's kind of weird to me. It's like, why did they choose it like that? But it's still good. Like it's still an excellent program for what they're offering. What I want now is a fountain. Let's see if we have any fountains. And so Affinity does the same thing, right? Affinity also saves by default in its own Affinity format. What if we took this and we made it opaque water? I think the thing is, a lot of those programs I think are too heavy for what you normally want to do. For like, oh, you can't see anything. I have to change my. Let's do that right now. I have to go in and properly change the icons to not be dark. Well, normally when I just want to view and like do like minor edits, like cropping, I personally open up with a different program like Ristretto. There's a couple others that are just like lightweight, very basic image manipulation, like crop and rotate and things like that. They can't do like drawing, they can't do any of that stuff, but they work fine for things where you need to just open up a file, change something, save it. Like usually for like saving stuff for online. So I personally like Ristretto quite a bit. But I get why they do it, right? They do it because they want you to, or they a lot of times what you're going to be doing is working on a larger project. But I wish that I wish that there was stuff that you could open up in like 1 second, edit your thing, and then go out. And that's what the kind of stuff I look for. Like like, I haven't shown you guys, but I set up a whole thing where like, where like I have like PDF cheat sheets that I can open up and just keep to the side, because I don't need all the PDF stuff. I just need to view stuff like as a document, and I use Zathura for that one. But it doesn't really matter what you use; it just matters how you set it up, I think. What was I doing? Oh, I was looking for like. See if there are any kind of like. Something like that? I think so. Actually, I'm going to put a wall around this thing here. I really got to figure out the music situation. I haven't gotten around to it. All right, let's see. What else am I going to do before I stop? Oh, yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, thank you. I I get it. My idea with dev streams is that some of these things are things I need to work on anyway. So I figured I might as well stream it. So. They're usually personal projects, and yeah, I usually do them in the morning. I would like to stream more games, but we're not doing that right now. In fact, I think this is about a good wrapping up point for this. But yeah, no, that's really cool. I will. Well, not for this map. This map is not done, but I need to make some other, or need to get some other assets. And I think that's something I kind of need to do offline, because I need to pull from, like I've been trying to pull public domain stuff, right? And because I'm not trying to sell this is just for personal use, but it is public domain. And I appreciate that kind of thing. But it does require that I go out and search the internet for pictures, and I'm kind of wary to do that on stream. I feel like that's not as likely to be stream friendly, even with safe search on. Yeah, I also really need to work on the music situation. The music situation is fine, but it's not really pumping up the jam the way that I'd like it to. So thank you. I think, however, I'm going to wrap up to do this stuff for now, but I think we got a fair bit of progress on our little thingy. I'll probably do another dev stream tomorrow. It's usually weekends, or I'm going to do it. I don't know. If people are interested, then I might have streams later in the day. I do them in the morning because it's easiest for me. and because nobody else is streaming. Let's see if there's somebody around. Oh, we can do Retrograde Tom. So yeah, thank you all, and I'll see you next time.